You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. My name is Damien and I am one half of the Learn English Through Football podcast team. And I'm based in London, where the weather is nice and cool, which is a nice break after all the heat we had in May. I wonder how Damon, the other member of the Learn English Through Football team, is doing in Tokyo, Japan. How are you, Damon?
Hi, Damien. Just like over there, it's a bit cooler in Japan. I'm enjoying it while it lasts, as summers here can be unbearably hot. Today's podcast focuses on the Men's World Cup. Are you getting excited?
Well, yes, I am looking forward to the World Cup. Less than a week to go. Actually, I will be traveling to Mexico to see a couple of games there. So I am very excited indeed. I will be going to Monterrey to see Japan take on Tunisia in Group F, and then South Africa versus South Korea in Group A few days later. It's going to be fantastic.
That does sound great, and the matches you'll be watching should be really interesting. That's one thing that's great about the World Cup, isn't it? These matchups between teams that wouldn't normally play each other.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, and that was in Dutch. And of course, the Netherlands have qualified for the 2026 World Cup finals. But did you know that there are two other countries at the World Cup that have Dutch as one of its official languages? Curaçao also have Dutch as one of three official languages. Papiamento and English are the other two, while Belgium has French and Dutch. And we'll be hearing some more stingers or messages in different languages throughout the show. And all of these languages are from countries that have qualified for this year's World Cup. So unfortunately, that means no Italian and no Irish.
지금 여러분은 languagecaster.com을 듣고 계십니다.
And that was another stinger. What language was that in? We'll have the answers at the end of the show. Right, let's kick off with the main section of today's podcast. Damien will be taking a look at the World Cup through key numbers and facts. There are some questions at the start, and you can check how much you understood by reviewing those questions at the end of the section. There are also some key vocabulary items highlighted. But most of all, this is a really interesting look at the facts and figures behind the World Cup.
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
The 2026 World Cup kicks off on June the 11th. And in this listening practice, we will look at some of the numbers connected to the tournament. Do you know how many countries are taking part? How many stadiums or stadia are being used? How many groups are there? You can find out the answers to these questions and more by listening to the next part of our podcast. Before we start, let's take a look at some of the key words from this listening to help you prepare. Number 1, tournament. This is the full competition, and here it means the 2026 World Cup. Number 2, venue. This is the place where the games or the tournament takes place. Number 3, to kick off. And this means to start. So we can kick off the tournament or kick off a game. Number 4, to host or the host. In the World Cup, these are the countries where the games are taking place. So the USA, Mexico, and Canada. Number 5, to co-host, and this is when countries host a tournament together. Number 6, group stage. This is the first part of the tournament, and this decides which teams will play in the knockout rounds. And number 7, make their debut. To play in their first game. This could be a player or a team. So listen out for these words and phrases to help you understand this listening a little more. Okay, so the 2026 World Cup kicks off in Mexico City on June 11th, when one of the hosts, Mexico, face South Africa. This will be the 23rd World Cup, the 23rd version of the competition that started almost 100 years ago in 1930. Hosts. Mexico are not the only hosts of this tournament. There are 2 other countries that will share the hosting. So there are 3 co-hosts, Mexico, Canada, and the United States of America. This will be the first time that 3 countries have co-hosted the tournament, and it will also be the first time that Canada will host the finals. The USA hosted in 1994, so this will be the second time for them, while it will be the third time for Mexico, as they previously hosted in 1970 and 1986. Groups. Another change to this year's tournament is the number of teams involved or taking part. For the first time, there will be 48 teams. And this is an increase of 16 teams from recent tournaments. This also means there will be more groups in the first stage or group stage than before. Each group has 4 teams, so there will now be 12 groups in total. In the last World Cup in Qatar, there were 8 groups of 4. How long? So in total, there will be 104 matches, which is an increase from 64 in the last 7 tournaments. And this means that the World Cup will take place over 39 days, which is a week longer than usual. A lot of football indeed. Qualifying. So how can teams qualify for the knockout rounds? Well, similar to previous tournaments, the top 2 sides in each group will qualify for the next stage. And this will give us 24 teams. So the remaining 8 teams will be those teams that finish third in the group with the best records. And this will mean 32 teams for the first knockout round. Venues. We have already said that this World Cup will be played in 3 different countries, and there will be 16 different host cities in these 3 countries. There will be 3 in Mexico, 2 in Canada, and 11 in the USA. As we have already mentioned, the opening game will be in Mexico, while the final takes place in New Jersey in the USA. Debuts. Brazil is the only country that has played in all of the World Cups. But do you know that there are 4 countries that will make their debuts this time? This means, of course, that they have never played in a World Cup before. It's their first time to play in the tournament. And these 4 countries are Cape Verde, Curaçao, Jordan, and Uzbekistan.
Čau, já jsem Zdeněk, fanoušek Arsenálu z České republiky a vy posloucháte languagecaster.com.
Thank you very much for that, Damien. So, at the start of this listening text, we asked some questions about the 2026 World Cup. Let's see how much you remember. First of all, how many countries are co-hosting the tournament? And the answer is 3, Canada, USA, and Mexico. The second question, how many countries are taking part in this World Cup? 48. And how many groups are there? Those 48 teams will be in 12 groups. Question 4 was, when was the first World Cup? And that was in 1930. Number 5, how many World Cup tournaments have there been? Since 1930, including that first one, there have been 22, and this will be the 23rd edition. Number 6, how many countries will be playing in their first World Cup? And that's 4. Cape Verde, Curacao, Jordan, and Uzbekistan.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Now, many of our regular listeners will know that we have had worksheets for many of our podcasts over the years. Well, we are trialing something new at the moment, and we'd like to know what you think about it. We're going to have some online lessons during the World Cup that can help learners of English with their listening and, of course, with their vocabulary building. Just come along to our site here at Learn English Through Football and click on the online lesson button with this post and let us know what you think.
Du lyssnar på languagecaster.com.
Now, if you want to get in contact with us with a football language question, or you have a comment on our show or about the World Cup, then you can do this by coming along to our World Cup forum or by writing to us at contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. While you're visiting our site, you can also check out our glossary of football terms, expressions, phrases, and clichés about the beautiful game of football.
Você está escutando languagecaster.com.
Okay, what language do you think that was? It would be great if you could send us a message like that saying you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast in your language or any language that you know. Just send it on to contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com.
languagecaster.com.
Thank you for that final message, which was in Twi from Ghana. The Black Stars from Ghana will be in Group L, along with England, Panama, and Croatia, a tough group. We also heard messages in Dutch, Korean, Spanish, French, Czech, Swedish, and Portuguese from Brazil. And as we said before, we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to record a message in any language that you know.
You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast.
Thank you everyone again for listening. This week we looked at the World Cup through numbers, how many teams, how many stadia, and how many host cities there are, for example. We looked at some words like venue, group stage, and co-host. Let us know if you hear any words or phrases from today's show in any language that you know, and drop us a line here at Learn English Through Football. And don't forget to try out the online lessons as well. We'll see you early next week when we'll have some more football expressions from the World Cup. Until then, bye-bye.
Ta-ra.